Friends, in this video, we will be learning about applications of trigonometry, or also known as heights and distances. We all know that in a right angle triangle there are three sides: hypotenuse, perpendicular and the base. Now these three sides and any angle, we know there are relationships called as trigonometric ratios. Okay, now we are going to use these trigonometric ratios to find out the height of tall buildings, to find out the distance of a person from the tall building. How do we do that? So let us look into this video about this thing. Now here this person is standing and this person is looking at the top of this Qutub Minar from his eyes. So the line which is from his eyes to this top of this tower is called as line of sight. He's looking at over here. So the line of sight is the line that is drawn from the eye of an observer to the point in the object viewed by the observer. So he's looking at the top, so we have drawn a line that's called line of sight. Now this line of sight is making an angle with the horizontal. This horizontal is actually parallel to the ground, so there is an angle being formed. This angle is called as angle of elevation whenever someone is looking upwards. Whenever we say upwards, we have angle of elevation. Okay, so the angle of elevation of the point viewed is the angle formed by the line of sight with the horizontal when the point being viewed is above the horizontal level. This point which we are viewing, the point C, is above the horizontal. Then we have angle of elevation. Now we have another thing also. Let's see what is that. That is called as angle of depression. Over here, if you see in this figure, this girl is looking down. Her line of sight is going down to this ball. Then we say this is angle of depression. What is this called as? Angle of depression, because the point which she is observing is below the horizontal level. Now the angle of depression of a point on object being viewed is the angle formed by the line of sight with the horizontal when the point is below the horizontal level. So I hope it is clear. See, when we look above, then we say we have angle of elevation. We are looking at the top of something. And when we are looking at the bottom, when we are looking down, then we say it is angle of depression. I hope it's clear, students. So now how these things are going to help you to find the height of hills, height of cliffs, height of tall buildings, and the distance of the observer from the building, or this ball from this building. We know all the trigonometric ratios. The trigonometric ratios are the relationship between the angles and the sides. So if you know any one of these, if you know any one of the sides, you should know only any one of the side of right angled triangle. So if you know any of the side and one angle, then we can calculate either this perpendicular, we can calculate either base or hypotenuse with the help of trigonometric ratios. So most commonly used angles will be tan 30 degree, tan 60 degree, tan 45 degrees, or sin 30, sin 60, sin 45, cos 60, cos 30, cos 45. So I hope you all remember the values of all these angles. So now students, let us start solving the questions which are based on this line of sight and angle of elevation or angle of depression. So let's begin with the first question. So I have taken few questions from your NCERT book. These are few examples. So let's read out the question first. A tower stands vertically on the ground from a point on the ground which is 15 meters away from the foot of the tower. The angle of elevation of the top of the tower is found to be 60 degree. Find the height of the tower. So there is a tower standing vertically on the ground. So let's say AB be the tower. And there is a point on the ground. Let me name it as C. Now, which is 50 meters away from the foot of the tower. So this point is 50 meters away. This is the foot of the tower. And from here, this point is 50 meters away. Now, from this point, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower, this is the top of the tower. So from here, the angle of elevation, the line of sight goes like this, and this is called angle of elevation, which is given to be 60 degree. Okay, I hope it's clear, students. We need to find the height of this tower AB. Okay, you need to find this height. So you know ABC is a right angle triangle. So in triangle ABC, tan 60 degree. Now we have the base, we have to calculate the perpendicular. So you know which ratio will work over here, tan. Tan is given by perpendicular by base, tan theta. So perpendicular is AB and base is BC. Tan 60 ka value is root 3. AB you do not know, BC is 15. So what is the value of AB? AB comes out to be 15 root 3 meter. I hope this is clear, students. We just solve the questions like this. It is as simple as that. Most important part is we need to draw the figure. Okay, students, I hope it's clear. Here, root 3 we leave it as it is because the value of root 3 is not given to you. But in some questions, the value of root 3 will be given and then we will be using it and solving it further. Let's move to the next question. Question number 2. An observer 1.5 meter tall. So this observer over this figure, it is given. It is she is or he is 1.5 meter tall, is 28.5 meter away from a chimney. This is a chimney and this observer is 28.5 meter away from this chimney. The angle of elevation of the top of the chimney from her eye is 45 degrees. So this is line of sight and angle of elevation is 45 degree. What is the height of the chimney? Now we need to again calculate the height of the chimney. So you see, height of the chimney we have to calculate from the bottom. So you need to calculate the whole AB over here. But over here, if you see, this is BC. So when you solve it, this horizontal is parallel to this, angle is over here. So we will consider triangle A, E and D. Let's calculate whatever we have from that. So in triangle AEB, it is 45 degrees. So I know tan 45 degrees is equals to perpendicular by base, which is AE by BE. Tan 45 is 1. So AB by, not AB, sorry, it is AE. So from this, what do I have? That AE equals to DE. This point is D. Okay. Let me just erase this. Over here it is DE. D. Yeah, this is DE. So AE comes out to be equal to this DE. Now both are equal. AE equals to DE. What is DE? As this DE is parallel to CB, so this becomes a rectangle only and these angles are 90 degree. So DE value I can say is equals to CB, which is 28.5 meter. So DE is 28.5. So AE comes out to be, so AE is also 28.5. So what will be the height of the chimney? So height of the chimney will be, which is AB, is equals to 28.5 plus 1.5, which comes out to be 30 meters. So height of the chimney comes out to be 30 meters. I hope it's clear, students. Now let us move to the next question. Question number 3. From a point P on the ground, the angle of elevation of the top of a 10 meter tall building is 30 degree. A flag is hoisted at the top of the building and the angle of elevation of the top of the flagstaff from P is 45 degree. Find the length of the flagstaff and the distance of the building from the point P. Okay. Now over here we have a point on the ground. Okay. So let us first draw the figure for that. There is a point on the ground. There is a tall building. So I have a building over here. There is a tall building. Let me name it as AB with the building, which is 10 meter. Okay. There is a point on the ground. Let me name it as P. The angle of elevation of the top of this building is how much? 30 degree. A flag is there hoisted at the top of the building. There is a flag being over here. Okay, now let me name it as AC. This is C point. The angle of elevation from the same point to the top of this flagstaff is given as how much? This is given as 45 degrees. We need to find out the length of this flagstaff and the distance of this point from the building. So I'll name these as AB over here instead of that point, okay, because we get a right angle triangle over here. So now AB be the building, AC be the flag staff, okay, P be the point that we have. From a point P, they only mentioned it, yeah. Now, which two triangles I'll take? There are two right angle triangles I can see over here. One is triangle ABP, the smaller one, ABP, with the 30 degree elevation. So here, tan 30 degree is equals to AB by PB. Tan 30 is how much? 1 by root 3 equals to AB is 10, PB I do not know. So from here PB we calculated as 10 root 3 meter. Okay. Now I'll consider triangle, the bigger one, CBP. Here the angle is 45 degrees. Tan 45 degrees is equals to CB by PB. Tan 45 is 1. So CB by PB. So this implies that CB equals to PB. They both are equal. Now how much was PB? 10 root 3. So CB is CA plus AB is 10 root 3. AB we know is 10. So CA equals to 10 root 3 minus 10, which we can say 10 common, root 3 minus 1. We need to calculate both of them, but the value of root 3 is given to us. Yeah, we have not calculated yet these two using the. So how do we do that part? So we need to put the value of root 3 here also and here also. So PB will change to, so this thing first we'll do, it will be 10 into root 3. So that is 1.732 minus 1. So that will be 0.710 into 0.732, which will be 7.32 meter. That comes out to be this CA, 7.32 meter. And this 10 root 3 PB part will be how much? There is no space left over here. Let me just move this question a little bit down. We can have more space, yeah, so to write the answer. So we will have PB equals to 10 into 1.732, which is 17.32 meters, and CA, the flagstaff, will be 7.32 meter. I hope it's clear, students. Yeah, the full question is clear to you all. First step is making the diagram, which is more important, right? Now let us move to the next question. These questions are from the NCERT exercise now. Those were the examples. So let's move to the first question. We have a circus artist is climbing a 20-meter rope, which is tightly stretched and tied from the top of a vertical pole. This is the pole here, AB, to the ground. It is being tied here and tied here. Find the height of the pole if the angle made by the rope to the ground is 30 degree. Over here it is given to you. It's a very simple question. So you have hypotenuse given here and you need to calculate the perpendicular. So which ratio will work here? Sine 30 degree, right? Sine 30, you know, sine is perpendicular by hypotenuse, or it is opposite by hypotenuse. So opposite or perpendicular over here is AB, and that is AC. Sine 30 value 1 by 2. AB is, we do not know, AC is 20. So AB comes out to be 20 by 2, 10 meters. Done. I hope it is clear, students. Yeah. Next question, again an easier version. A tree breaks down due to a storm and the broken part bends so that the top of the tree touches the ground, making an angle 30 degree with it. You people have done this type of question in your 7th grade also. You have a tree and this tree break down. Yeah, let's say it break down from here. So when it breaks down, it is making some angle with the ground. When it breaks down, it makes an angle with the ground. Okay, so that angle is how much? 30 degree. So let me name these as the points. Let's say this is A, B, and the tree broke down at C. So this CA comes over down here. Yeah, the same thing comes down over here. The distance between the foot of the tree and the ground where it is touching A is 8 meter. This part is 8 meter given to you. You need to find the height of the whole tree. Now I have this base. First let us calculate this perpendicular and then this part. Okay. So same triangle, in triangle CBA. What all we have? We have first tan 30 degrees is equals to CB by BA. Okay. This BA. So tan 30 is 1 by root 3. CB we do not know. BA is 8. So CB is 8 by root 3. Okay. We got this as 8 by root 3. Now again in the same triangle, if I change the angle, if I take sine 30 degree, that will become perpendicular by hypotenuse, which I need. I need to calculate this distance also. Yeah, CB by CA. Sine 30 1 by 2. And how much is this CB? CB is 8 by root 3. And CA we do not know. So CA becomes 2 8s are 16 root 3. Right? 16 by root 3. Now, what is the height of the tree? Height of tree equals to CA plus CB, because that is what is AB, right? The CA and CB you have to add. So that's 8 by root 3 plus 16 by root 3. When we add, what do we get? We get 24 by root 3 after taking the LCM. So that is 24 by root 3. But we cannot leave your answer with the root in the denominator. So we need to rationalize it. Multiplying both numerator and denominator by root 3. So it will become 24 root 3 by 3. Cancel out 8. So it becomes 8 root 3 meter. So that is the height of the tree. No root 3 value is given in the question. Yeah, so we do not have to convert that root 3 and simplify. Okay, students, I hope it's clear. Now let us move on to the next question. A contractor plans to install 2 slides for the children to play in a park. For the children below age of 5 years, she prefers to have a slide whose top is at a height of 1.5 meter and is inclined at an angle of 30 degree to the ground. Whereas the elder children, she wants to have a steep slide at a height of 3 meter and inclined at an angle of 60 degree to the ground. What should be the length of the slide in each case? So we will have 2 figures over here. One is for less than 5 years, the age less than 5 years, and we have elder children, correct? We have elder children. So less than 5 years, she wanted to be 1.5 meter only the height of the slide. Yeah, she want only 1.5 meter slide and angle of elevation 30 degrees. Okay, but for the elder children, she wanted a bigger one, right? And the angle also she wanted a little steeper slide. This angle is 60 degree. This is 3 meter. Okay, so let me name it as A, B, C, and let us name it as P, Q, R. She want the length of the slide. So she want these things, yeah, AC and PR. So let's take both the triangles. In triangle ABC, what do we have? Okay, now we need to calculate hypotenuse. So we won't use tan here. What do we use? We use sine. So sine 30 degrees will be equals to AB by AC, which implies 1 by 2 is 1.5 by AC. So AC comes out to be how much? AC comes out to be 3 meter. Clear? Now here triangle PQR we consider. So we have again sine 60 degree here, but yeah, PQ by PR. So this is root 3 by 2 value of 60 degree sine. So that will be 3 by PR. So PR equals to 6 by root 3. We cannot leave the root 3 in the denominator. So we rationalize the denominator. So that will be 6 root 3 by 3. Cancel it out. It's 2 root 3 meter. So I hope it's clear. So both the values comes out to be 3 meter and 2 root 3 meter. Done? I hope this is also clear, students. Let's move on to the next question. I hope you're understanding the concept, because These are very basic questions of this concept. Now, moving on to the question number 4. The angle of elevation of the top of a tower from a point on the ground, which is 30 meter away from the foot of the tower, is 30 degree. Angle of elevation of the top of a tower. So you have a tower, let's say AB. Now the angle of elevation of this top from a point on the ground. This point is 30 meter away, is 30 degree. This angle is 30 degree. We need to find this height of the tower. Very simple. So in triangle ABC again, you need to get perpendicular, base is given. So we use tan 30 degree is AB by BC. Tan 30, 1 by root 3. AB we do not know. BC is 30. So what will be AB from here? 30 by root 3. Cannot leave root 3 in the denominator, so rationalize it. So you will get 30 root 3 by 3, that is 10 root 3 meter. Done. You don't have to change it also. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. Again a simpler question. A kite is flying at a height of 60 meter above the ground. The string attached to the kite is temporarily tied to a point on the ground. The inclination of the string with the ground is 60 degree. This inclination is again the angle, right, of elevation. So we have a kite that is flying 60 meter above the ground. So let's say this is 60 meter above the ground. There is a kite which is being flying, okay, and it has a string attached to it, and that string is making an angle of 60 degree like this. Okay, this is 60 meter given, so let me name it as again A, B, C. You have the angle, you have perpendicular, you need to calculate this hypotenuse because length of the string is this part AC. Okay, now again in triangle A, B, so we have to calculate hypotenuse. So sine 60 is AB by AC. So sine 60 is root 3 by 2, AB is 60, and AC we need to calculate. So from here AC is 120 by root 3. So again we rationalize the denominator. So that will be 120 into root 3 by 3. So cancel out 40. So it becomes 40 root 3 meter. We do not have to change it because root 3 value is not given. So that's our final answer. Okay students, I hope it's clear. Now move to next question. A 1.5 meter tall boy is standing at some distance from a 30 meter tall building. So we have a 30 meter tall building. Full length is 30 meter. Okay. Then a boy is standing at some distance. Let's say the boy is 1.5 meters. So that's the boy. Okay. Let's say CD is the boy. 1.5 meter. Standing at some distance. So whenever you have someone standing and its height is given, so you make a rectangle below only first. Yeah. Now the angle of elevation. So if the boy is here, so its eyes will be over here. So angle of elevation from his eyes to the top of the building increases from 30 to 60. So it's like this. Earlier it was 30 degree angle of elevation. Then it increases. When the angle is increasing, you are going towards the building because up you pass जाओगे तभी वो angle increase होगा. So it changes from 30 to 60. So you will go in this direction, okay, towards the building. As he walks towards the building, find the distance he walked towards the building. So we need to find it. So let's say he moved till E over here, and this is F, okay, to a point E over here. Now let us calculate. First thing what we have to do is, because we will be considering AF, because F will be now the point, a 90 degree we will take in triangles. So what will be AF from here? AF is AB minus FB. As it's a rectangle, FB also 1.5. So it will be 30 minus 1.5, which is 28.5 meter. Okay. So this point is 28.5. So we will be using that now. Let us consider first triangle now. In triangle AFE, what do we have? Tan 60 degree equals to AF by EF. So root 3, AF is 28.5 and EF below. So what will be EF from here? EF will be 28.5 by root 3. So we can rationalize the denominator and check what do we get. 28.5 root 3 by 3, you cancel it out, you will get 9.5 root 3 meter. So this point comes out to be 9.5 root 3. Okay. Now let us move to the next triangle. So I'll do it here. In triangle AFC, tan 30 degrees is equals to AF by CF. So tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So AF 28.5 by, this is CF. So CF comes out to be 28.5 root 3 meter. So I have this CF whole thing 28.5 root 3 meter. We need to find out how much he moved. Yeah. From C to E. This distance we have to calculate. So we know CE is what? CE is CF minus EF. So CF we got as 28.5 root 3 and EF is 9.5 root 3. So final answer comes out to be 19 root 3 meter. Root 3 value not given to us, so not given in the question. So we are done with the question. I hope it's clear, students, what we did here. Okay. We have calculated distance the boy has traveled from here to here. Okay. That's 19 root 3. Now move on to the last question of the video. I hope you are understanding the concept and not getting bored with the questions. Now, little different question it is. From a point on the ground, the angle of elevation of the bottom and top of a transmission tower fixed at the top of a 20-meter high building. So we have a building and top of that there is a tower. Just like building के ऊपर we had flag. Similar type of question. So we have a building. You can draw a straight line also. I'm just drawing it to explain it to you. Then on top of that building there is a tower, transmission tower. Just making it like that. So let me name it as C. Okay. Now from a point on the ground, let's take a point on the ground here. The angle of elevation of the bottom and top of the tower. So bottom of the tower here. Okay. And top of the tower here. Right. So angle of elevations are given as 45 degrees and 60 degrees. Building is 20 meter high. That is also given to us. We need to find the height of the tower. So how do we do the question? We have again the figure. So in triangle ABP, first I'll take. I have the angle tan 45 degrees. Here we have to calculate perpendicular and base only. So that will be AB by PB. Tan 45 is 1. So AB equals to PB. So PB also come out to be 20 meter. So this is 20 meter we have. Now in triangle CBP, tan 60 degree is equals to CB by PB. Tan 60 is root 3. CB is CA plus 20 by 20. So 20 goes here. So 20 root 3 equals to CA plus 20. Okay. Now what will be CA? CA will be 20 root 3 minus 20 after transposition. Take 20 common, root 3 minus 1. Yeah. Root 3 value is not given to us. So that is our answer. Height of the tower is 20 multiplied by root 3 minus 1. So I hope this is clear, students. We have covered around 10 questions in this video. So do practice them. Don't just watch the video. You people have to, whenever the question comes, pause the video, try to solve it on your own. If you do not get it, then look at the video, how it is being solved, and do it and match your answer. Okay, students. Thank you for watching this video. Then in the next video, we'll solve more questions from the NCERT. Till then, bye.